Hi there guys, Sam here. You join me once again in the Golf R for another video. And this video is just around Golf in general. So the Mk7 Golf and, well, obviously the future Mark 8 Golf is to come. But this is more around the Mk7, the 7.5, and just really how the Golf can kind of be that one car for kind of everyone really. And yeah, just to go a little bit around that. So yeah, I'll get straight into it. So yeah, once again, so obviously in the Golf R, sort of around 16,500 miles the car's done. If you're new to the channel, I picked up the car with about just over 1,000 miles. It's about 1,300 miles on the car, 3 months old. So I mean, it's coming up to 2 years old now in a few months time. I've owned it for almost all of that time. Just 3 months at the start was it was an ex-demonstrator from Volkswagen. But yeah, in that time I've learned not only so much about this sort of like hyper-hatched four-wheel drive, 300 brake horsepower, such a fun car. It's just unbelievable how good it is. But how good it is on sort of like the daily side is something that's really taken me away. You know, I hear sayings of people going, you know, you only need that kind of one car, you only need the Golf. But until you actually kind of test it and drive it and sort of have it for a year, 2 years or whatever, and really use it quite a lot, you can never really be sure. And yeah, certainly for me, it really is that kind of one car. And I'll try and look at it from both levels, not just from a, you know, not everyone's into their hyper hatches, 300 brake horsepower four-wheel drive cars, but just the Golf in general as well. And for me, being quite a car enthusiast, any car is quite fun. You know, I'll get into like my mum's Nissan Micra and go for a drive somewhere for whatever reason, and it'll be great fun. It'll roll all over the place, but it's just a good laugh. It's small, nimble, all that kind of thing. And I think that's the same for all the Golfs down the range, Mk7, 7.5. You know, for me, as long as you're I'm quite a petrol person, so I'd recommend getting a petrol. You know, it's a car which is designed to be fun. And you know, I don't ever think the Golf is on that complete boring side personally. You know, I just never see that about any car. I'd never really get in a car and say this is completely dull, and that's always a good thing. I think Ford have always kind of had that little bit of edge on handling, which everyone says, and obviously price point. But yeah, I don't necessarily think the Golf you should be completely ruled out if you just want to go for a drive sometime. And certainly on that end of the scale, its main benefits is that it can kind of do everything you want. You know, in the world where there's a lot more cars, a lot more people are going to like getting SUVs, 4x4s, he says in a Golf four-wheel drive, and they're huge. And you know, there's so many cars on the road, and I just always feel it's unnecessary. It's difficult to park. You know, if you have 2 kids, do you really need a massive 4x4? I'm not so sure. You know, there's kind of other alternatives. You know, if you have a dog or something like that, you could get something like a Golf Estate. You know, there's things around it. And you know, rather than sort of looking for like a 2-car garage or a 3-car garage or whatever, try and have that one car. It really does tick the boxes. And I know you can, if I compare it directly to the Ford Focus, initially, you know, price point is quite important for people. And you know, yes, the Focus is a cheaper car. You know, it's also cheaper inside as a result. You kind of do notice the quality in the feel. Certainly in this car, it's absolutely brilliant. And across the range in the Golf, there's generally high quality touch material, soft touch around. It's a very nice place to be. Focus is a little bit more plasticky. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't mind driving my dad's Ford Focus. I loved my Fiesta ST beforehand. It didn't really cause me any concern really. But it's nice to have a little bit more quality. It does make it a little bit more usable day to day. You're sitting in the car, you want the interior to be nice. The Golf definitely has that, so a big thumbs up on that side. But on the price point side, short term, so I mean, I'm not personally done sort of PCP or finance and stuff like that, but yes, you might look at the initial monthly payments or whatever, and the Focus or Ford might be better. But actually in the long run, because the residuals are so high, so much better in a VW, particularly the Golf, it actually doesn't, it works out quite cost effective as well to get a VW. I mean, I've checked the second-hand markets on Golf Rs or just general Golfs, and they really do hold their money. And I think that's really good. You know, if you want to have a car for 2 or 3 years, I think that's a good thing to have. to have that resale value, and also to have a car that you're happy to be in. And I've always enjoyed kind of getting into this car just to have that kind of, well, first of all on the relaxing side, then obviously looking at the other end of the scale, it can be an absolute blast. And moving up the range of, say, a Golf, you've got the GTI, which is, they're ridiculously desirable, I mean, and quite expensive as well, I'm not going to lie, but then it's all fun and it's great, decent economy. Golf R for me is just it's absolutely blown my mind, more than my expectations really, and I feel fortunate to kind of own it. It's firm enough to have enough fun in the corners and to go for a blast and to have that versatility, but also comfortable enough and usable enough to use every single day, which is kind of what I do. I use it for the stuff going to work. I don't have another car. This is my only car, and because of that, it kind of ticks all boxes. I'm a big fan of estates as well, certainly probably in the future when I grow up a bit more. To have an estate might be more practical. You've got more room, you've got room for kids, you've got room for dogs, you've got room for more stuff, and a Golf can kind of tick those boxes as well. Also loads of convenient stuff inside. It's nice inside, but there's loads of storage bits, which is really, really cool. And the space is great. I mean, mine's only a 3-door, but obviously a 5-door, it's fine. You can get adults in the back, headroom's great. Visibility is really, really good actually looking around. I noticed that the first time I did a test drive in a Golf R, I was just like, wow, it's so airy in here. There's no pano roof, but you can see everywhere. It just makes it so much easier to park, to make sure you're not going to knock anything. And another great thing about the Golf is it can blend in, so you can leave it and you can park it up somewhere and you can feel a little bit safe and secure in that side as well. And it's not too flashy, but it's not too dull at the same time. It really does have that blend, and I'm just such a big massive fan of it. I've always been a Ford fan through and through, and I still absolutely love them. But I think for me, it's certainly gained my impression over the last year and a half of driving it and sort of being in it, how quality these cars are. Made in Germany. Germans know how to make a great car. Reliability has been strong for me, and I look after it, and it looks after me as well. I'd feel comfortable doing long journeys in this car with having absolutely no issues. You do your basic checks I've gone about before, but the car is brilliant, and I kind of want to do this video as a summary to sort of say it really is that the Golf is really, really that good, and I really would recommend it. And it kind of suits a lot of people's personalities as well. Like I said, a lot of people like their hardcore stuff as well. Golf R can do that. Okay, it's not a crazy end of the scale that makes it impossible to live with daily, which is great, but at the same time it's not boring by any stretch of the imagination. It's really, really fun and enjoyable. They also come quite well equipped as well. The equipment on it, sat nav's good, infotainment overall's good, heated seats, radar guided cruise control is really cool. Some stuff that would be revolutionary sort of 5 years ago or whatever is just nice and easy to use in here. Steering wheel's always great to use, turning circle, all those little basic things, like even when you reverse, to have the mirror sort of dip so you can see the line, really does add up. And it's something you can take for granted. The automatic handbrake makes it really, really easier. I'm sure even in say like a DSG for a Golf R or an automatic Golf, it's even more livable, which is great. For me, I like the manual gearbox, I like the engagement, and it doesn't bother me too much sort of my daily driving really. And I again recommend sort of a manual gearbox. It's great to use for the engagement side. Yeah, so just to summarise, I really would recommend the Golf. From my ownership, just as general as a Mk7 7.5, 7.5, you get a little bit more, the digital infotainment's a little bit better. Outside looks quite nice as well. You get like LED lights, all those kind of things, and they really do make a complete car, and a car that you could just have and just be completely happy with. And I absolutely love it. And I always think if you want that really hardcore excitement, if you are like a real passionate car enthusiast, you can always do your track days in something else, which is kind of what I do. Let someone else worry about tyre costs, servicing costs, and whatever costs of that car. Just rag it around really. It's not your responsibility, it's not your possession kind of thing. You can enjoy it a little bit more. Whereas even in this car, you know, you kind of like, well, it's it's my car, it's my hard-earned money, so you take it a little bit easy even when you're giving it some, to be honest. But hopefully you found that useful anyway from a VW Golf owner. And I know obviously on the top of the range Golf R, but across the range I just think it's really, really appealing. And my recommendation is definitely, you know, if you're considering that car, this type of car, to really, really go for it, because again, as I said, cost wise, residual value is really, really important. If you look at the long-term gain, it's really, really good. Plus you got a really great, a cracking car. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and you know, I'm looking forward to more drives to come really in the Golf R, and you know, to enjoy it throughout this year. Yeah, that's it. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. I know it's a little bit different to my normal stuff, but I just wanted to give an overview kind of on the Golf, the Mk7, and just how brilliant it really is as kind of like that one and only car. Obviously it's been fantastic as the Golf R side, but on that daily side, absolutely faultless, absolutely no problems, and I could really thoroughly recommend. But yeah, please, again, thanks so much for watching the videos, thanks so much for the subscriptions, and you know, I hope you're really enjoying the content. You know, please comment below just your thoughts on the Golf. You know, I know a lot of you own Golf Rs, you know, share your experiences of it. If you just own a Golf in general, please, you know, let me know your thoughts, how you find it, how you kind of get on with it would be great. And I think a lot of part of this channel is to build a community for people to kind of use to, you know, to understand further things, particularly around, for this is VW Golf R, but Golfs in general. Yep, please share, like and subscribe for more content on my Golf R. But thanks very much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Cheers guys.